the Silo series. And what strikes me about it, as well as a lot of dystopian stories, is the lack of hope. And I guess that's the point. And yet, I want to talk about that. So when you make a story that shows how terrifying, or at least potentially terrifying, the world is and the way the world is going is, on the one hand, I think the idea is to kind of scare people into action. On the other hand, I think there's a knife's edge that in some ways has to be walked. Let me put it this way. What's really hard is figuring out how the world can operate in such a way that we don't end up in a dystopian world. That's a lot of work. And it's much easier, I think, although obviously it requires a great deal of ingenuity and creativity and innovation to create a story that's dystopian, to see kind of the horrible ways our world can go wrong in the long run. You know, we have a lot of ideas of how it's going wrong, but like the Silo series, for instance, is quite ingenious in many ways. What's frustrating is how even when the characters are trying to do the right thing and the bad guys, quote unquote, are supposedly doing the wrong thing, in some ways the bad guys are doing things for the right reason and the good guys are doing what they think is the right reason, and it results in bad outcomes, which is entirely realistic. And it goes against what I was just talking about in my last video, which is the Jedi mindset, or the Jedi brain. You know, the idea that either everyone is evil or everyone is good, or something like that. I'm pretty sure I talked about that in my last message, at least. But what I really would like to see more of, and what I hope to, who knows, maybe even write myself, is how the world can have hope. And the vision I have is something like the accumulated, growing knowledge, kind of spiral dynamic accumulation of knowledge and unity, community that leads to unity, a way of separating our personal views from the common sphere so that everyone's personal views can be respected and kept sacred, and thus too can the common sphere be kept common for only that which is common between all people. Man, I want that dream to be played with. I want to see that dream turned into 1,000 stories of how can we bring our energies together. You know, maybe everything's going to hell, but there's a seed in each story where the hero becomes an army of people creating a commons, and thereby transferring the world from a story of, okay, now Team A is won over Team B, and instead create a new Team C that is everybody. Team Commons. Hey, how about that? So, yeah. Dystopian notions, excuse me, have this way of scaring us, but without a dream of what the next step is. I think they leave us in a place of fear.